Sexual violence is an all-encompassing term that refers to any type of forced or coerced sexual activity, including assault, abuse, online sexual harassment, and sex trafficking. It transcends culture, nation, race, and gender. It can devastate families and break communities apart. Unfortunately, the rise of social media has made it even easier for sexual violence to happen, and can even connect sexual predators with potential prey. This is referred to as technology-facilitated sexual violence, or TFSV, where digital technologies are used to enable both virtual and face-to-face sexually based harms. La Trobe University classifies 4 main types of technology-facilitated sexual violence: online sexual harassment, gender and sexuality-based harassment, cyberstalking, and image-based sexual exploitation. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, sexual violence occurs anytime one person is manipulated or forced into sexual activity without their consent. In some cases, like those involving a child or when there is some type of power imbalance between the people involved, the victim can't consent due to their position. Lack of consent is the underlying factor in all forms of sexual violence, and it becomes easy to see how social media plays an increasing role in various categories of sexual violence. Sexual harassment, as defined by the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, is a form of harassment characterized by unwelcome sexual advances, request for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature. While sexual harassment can occur at school, after-school activities, sports programs, or other places where young people aren't directly supervised, it has become all too common in online spaces, such as sending inappropriate and unwanted images, especially to minors, requesting inappropriate images, especially from minors, sending inappropriate emails, text, or social media messages, posting lewd or sexually indecent photos of the victim, use of obscene or vulgar language, discussions of sexual activity on social media, and commenting on another person's body or on their sexual matters in an online forum. Cyberstalking occurs when a perpetrator repeatedly makes unwanted online contact with the victim. It may involve persistent messaging, sending inappropriate or threatening images, and the creation of fake accounts to get around being blocked. Cyberstalking can rob victims of their sense of safety and inflict lasting emotional damage. It also has the frightening potential to escalate to in-person conduct. Sexual abuse, according to the American Psychological Association, is when a perpetrator takes advantage of the victim's inability to give consent to force unwanted sexual activity. Online interactions can lead to in-person situations where this dangerous type of sexual abuse can take place. Many sexual abuse victims know their perpetrators and often have been subject to grooming behavior either in person or through a social media platform. This relationship between victim and abuser often includes emotional manipulation, making the victim believe that they did consent, that they wanted it, or that they would hurt the abuser's feelings or make them angry if they refused. Immediate reactions to sexual abuse can be physical pain, shock, fear, and shame. Long-term, damaging psychological and emotional effects include depression and anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, difficulty forming intimate relationships, substance use disorders, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, or attempts. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center defines sexual assault as any type of unwanted sexual conduct, such as unwanted kissing of a sexual or non-sexual body part, unwanted touching of a sexual body part, attempted penetration or rape, sodomy, or penetration, forcing another person to watch one masturbate. This is a physical form of sexual violence and can happen either between people who know each other or by a perpetrator who is a stranger to the victim. Sometimes sexual assault is an escalation of sexual harassment that begins online. Sexual assault can happen to anyone, man or woman. Without a victim's consent, all sexual acts are considered sexual assault. Regardless of what the victim was wearing, their gender, or even whether they were drinking or using drugs, sexual contact without consent is assault. That includes the following circumstances: online sexual harassment, child sexual assault and abuse, rape, or forced penetration, unwanted sexual touching or contact, sexual harassment or unwanted sexual comments, sexual exploitation, flashing or displaying genitals without consent, revenge porn, or sharing intimate images without permission, watching an intimate act without permission. If you were a victim of harassment online, report the incident to the relevant platform or moderator and document everything that happened, including preserving any messages. Anyone can be a victim of sexual violence, and it's important to understand the forms sexual violence can take, what to do after you've been harmed, and your options for justice. Above all, a victim of sexual violence is still a victim, no matter who they are or the circumstances. If you or someone you love has been a victim of online sexual violence, you have hope and legal recourse. An attorney specializing in pursuing claims against online platforms and social media companies can help. The Social Media Victims Law Center works to hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. For more information and resources to help with online sexual violence, reach out to our team today for a free confidential case evaluation.